You guys ready for your next storyteller?
I think so.
Let's do it for Alex Bonzanovic.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Let me move this out of the way. Should I just get into the story?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to talk about the first orgy that I went to.
Not the last.
Definitely not. I'm probably going tomorrow. To be honest, no. It's a gay one, so it's cool. Don't worry. So it happened when I graduated from college. I was at my first, real job. So I was definitely respecting it, and like it was an easy job. So within like the first hour and a half that I was there, I'd pretty much be done with my job. So I would spend the rest of the morning looking for hookups on my lunch hour, and I would just be going through like Craigslist casual encounters.
Is this on a work computer?
Yes. Of course, I didn't have an iPhone yet, so this was like Blackberries were still the thing back then. So like, yeah, of course I was using the work computer.
I didn't declare signs.
Yeah.
Can't imagine looking at Craigslist on a BlackBerry. How fucking hard.
Oh, that would be awful. Yeah, that would be terrible. So all right, so like I'm going through like casual encounters, and I saw a listing for an orgy, and they said it was at a hotel that was very close to where I was working. So I responded to the listing, and I was like, hey, here's a picture of my penis, I want an orgy.
That's the ID you use for an orgy. Send us your genitals and your height and weight. We'll send you a tarp in the mail.
Yeah. And I was back then, I was like,
before that you would have to RSVP for an orgy. Yeah,
they send you the card and they're like, respond within 12 days. And back then I was like 30 pounds lighter, so like it looked a lot nicer down there. Just comparatively, the proportions were in my favor. So I send the message, they send the message back, they're like, hey, we like your penis, come join the orgy. So they told me where
Such
we're...
an honor.
I know, that's a pretty cock you're working with there, son.
If you come to the well, I forget what show I'm on tomorrow. I'm doing a show tomorrow. I'll talk about my penis there. We can figure it out when I get off stage.
You can triangulate between a stand-up and a storytelling and get an actual visual picture in your brain.
Yeah, you'll see the whole story. You'll see the full story.
It's a 3D model.
There's a backstory to his penis. You guys aren't going to miss. It's pretty good.
It's like a prequel to this penis. So they tell me where to go, and I leave for lunch, and I go to the room number that they tell me to go to.
Oh, so this isn't like tomorrow or later tonight? This is lunch break?
Yeah, no, this is lunch break. This is lunch break. I clocked out. I was 5 minutes. I was at that hotel. It was a Motel 6. I just right over. It was right by Oakland Mall in Madison Heights, Michigan.
I'm glad you specified Motel 6 because I was picturing a hotel.
Oh no, it was a Motel 6. Yeah, no, it was classy. It was classy. So I get to the room. I knock on the door, and the guy that was organizing the whole thing, he opens the door and he asks me, my name and a bunch of questions.
Does he have like a clipboard? Just taking names, handing out wristbands.
Yeah, he's wearing like a visor, just
like a poker visor.
Yeah, he's got like that clicker thing to count how many people fit in. So he opens the door. He asks me a bunch of questions to verify that I am who I say I am. And we get verification, so he lets me in. And as I'm standing outside, it's like a bright, sunny day, and it is pitch black in that room. So when I'm out of the room, I cannot see what is happening inside of the room. Very much so like looking out at you guys right now because of these stage lights, I do not see anything.
It's funny how he's verifying that you are who you say you are, when you could just say the same thing you said 30 minutes ago. Like, he's never met you, like, what?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Also, it's not an upscale orgy. It's not like a Motel 6. It's not like, hey, we're waiting some real like prime suspects to come through here, all right?
It's not just a sign on the side that says, here's where the orgy is. So like the idea that you would have a random guy showing up and be like, I'm here for the orgy, but he's not the one that
Hey, you're not the
saw
one
on Craigslist?
anonymously responded to Craigslist ad.
Yeah, hey, you're a different anonymous guy.
It's like a pickup basketball game. That's what's happening. The ball's in your court.
It's a bunch of friends and some randos trying to join.
Whose shirts? Nobody. All the same team.
It's skins versus jockstraps. So I'm standing outside. I can't really see anything. He finally lets me in, and I mean, like, we've all been to a Motel 6, right? Like, I mean, we've done shady shit in our lives, right? Like, we needed somewhere to drink in high school. Our older, sibling got us a room. We've all needed to buy cocaine. We know what a Motel 6 room is. Like, 2 beds, nightstand, dresser. There was 2 queen beds. They were pushed together, and there was just a lot of men orgying.
I've never heard it using the gerund form before. Orgying. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's going on, and so I go and I undress and I join the pile, and so things are happening, and there's another knock on the door, and the guy who organized it gets up again to go answer the door, and I guess this was the last guy that came in.
So he's participating in the orgy, and then he answers the door.
Yeah.
So when he answered, did he have any clothes on?
Yeah, he threw on some shorts real quick.
Okay.
He had some shorts that he just put on, answer the door, and then get the shorts off. And yeah.
Classic.
This
This
guy's
is not his first rodeo.
No, it wasn't his first rodeo. This guy has
Twice
done
planned
this. Yeah, he's done this
He
quite.
was also wearing assless chaps too.
All right. So the door. There's a knock on the door, and it was clearly the last guy, because he didn't give him the same treatment that I'm sure he gave everybody else, because he was just like, "Oh, you must be John, right?" And
This is the closer.
yeah, this is the closer. Yeah.
Pick up his cracking his knuckles.
This is Harvey Keitel in Pulp Fiction. He's coming in to clean it up.
This is the Lauryn Hill show up 2 hours late to the orgy.
So he's like, so you must be John. He's like, yeah, but that's just the name I use online. My name is actually Tom. And
It's a very important thing to say that, apparently.
so while this is all going on, I kind of like turn my head to see just see who's coming into the room, And he's outside, so I can see like a little bit of, I can kind of see his face, but he's like backlit, so I can't see it very clearly. And I'm just like, I just had like I saw him, and I'm like, I know this person. Like I've met him somewhere before. So I'm like thinking about it for a second, but like I'm at an orgy, so I kind of forget about it pretty quickly, and I go back to what I was doing. And So he comes in, he joins, we do our thing. People are starting to finish, and people are starting to leave. And so I'm done, so I'm getting ready to leave. And I think at that point everybody was done, so we were all getting dressed, getting ready to go. And I was kind of just leaning on the dresser, kind of putting my clothes on, and Tom was sitting on the bed in front of me, kind of looking that way towards the window. He was getting dressed, and as he was doing that, the door kept opening and light would come in, and I would see his face, and the door would close, and it would be darkness. And that happened like 3 or 4 times. I would see his face, and the whole time I'm just like, oh God, I know him. Like, he's familiar, I've seen him somewhere before. And so I get dressed, and I'm just like, all right, I gotta get back to work. So I get in my car, and I'm driving back to work, and I'm sure most of us have seen the Usual Suspects.
Yes.
So like that last scene when Chaz Palminteri figures out who Kaiser Soze is, like that was me driving back to work with Tom. Like everything came together, and I was like, oh, that was my high school basketball coach. So I was in shock for a moment, and I get back to work, and I sit down at my desk, and I go back into my email, and I email the guy that organized it. I'm like, hey, did you happen to get that Tom guy's last name? And he responded back, no, why? And I was like, because I think that was my high school basketball coach. And so he emails back. He asks me like some questions, about like where I went to high school and stuff like that. And then 45 minutes go by and I don't hear anything. And then all of a sudden I get an email and it just says, yeah, that was your high school basketball.
Was one of the things that kind of tipped you off during the orgy that it was your basketball coach potentially? Was it that he was wearing a whistle around his neck the whole time?
I mean, that caught some suspicion, but the clipboard is really,
Did he keep yelling at people to hustle harder? Show some effort.
He was chewing gum the whole time.
Yeah, he's just trying to get everybody to do push-ups.
Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Like, what does it have to do with an orgy?
Then he threw a chair across the room when everyone was done. Bobby guy.
Yeah, I got it.
I don't know.
They didn't get it, I got it. So, alright, so he messaged me back, he's like, yeah, that was your high school basketball coach. And then about 10 minutes after that, I got an email from my high school basketball coach. And he was trying to explain to me what he was doing at a lunchtime gay orgy.
Was the explanation, I wanted to nut and he's supposed to do it?
Coincidentally, kind of, yeah. Kind of was that. It kind of was that. So he sends me a long email and he's like, my wife, she was really sick a few years ago and she had this surgery and it really killed her libido, and she knows that I'm very horny, I guess, and so she gave him a hall pass. She was like, go do what you need to do. So he was saying that at first he would just go to like massage parlors and stuff, and he just didn't really like that. It wasn't like his thing.
This is an insane amount of information to put in there.
I didn't ask one question.
He's so worried that you're gonna like tell someone he's gonna fire from his job. He's like, let's put it all in writing.
My wife said it's fine. She does not want to have sex with me. She knows about the pile.
She doesn't want to fuck anymore, so obviously, Craigslist, gay.
She left with no other options.
Please
My
don't tell,
grandkids will be confused.
please don't tell my boss. Please delete this email after you read it.
And go Cougars.
It's so funny because that was my middle school.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Did you run into your middle school soccer coach later? Dinner time soiree.
No, but I wish I ran into my 8th grade social studies teacher. That would have been nice.
Hot as fuck.
What was that?
Hot as fuck.
Oh, he was a big bear of a man, and he used to wear every Halloween. He would dress up in doctor smocks, and it left nothing to the imagination. It was nice. So all right, so he's like, went to massage parlors. I didn't like that. He said he tried to get a prostitute. He didn't like that. He eventually met someone, and they kind of had like a little side thing going on for a long time. But she ended up getting a job on the West Coast and moving away. And so he was like thinking about his options, and he was just like, you know what, sex is sex. And so that's how you end up at a lunchtime gay sex orgy, I guess.
That's happened to everybody, right?
All right, let's hear your coach fucking story.
Dude, that's wild. Have you ran into him at any other events since then, or was that kind of like a one-time deal?
No, so I did run into him at the bathhouse in Detroit once. It was another weird situation like that too, because like the
I've
bathhouse.
had another surgery.
She just loves the doctor.
It's my wife's idea. God.
Stop being so horny. You can take care of this.
He's just like secretly feeding her lithium.
She told me a hole's a hole. Just go.
My wife dressed me for this orgy. God damn it.
Christmas has gotten strange.
But yeah, I did run into him one more time. It was like a very similar situation because it was at the gay bathhouse, and they have a dry sauna, and obviously in a gay bathhouse you don't want lights, so it's just like pitch black in this dry sauna. And so I went in and there was already somebody kind of sitting in the corner and I couldn't see who it was. So like I was, and it's not like a huge sauna, so like sitting down is me sitting down next to him. And so like, you know, stuff started happening or whatever, you know, we did our thing, and then he got up and he left, and as he was walking out the door, that's the only time you get any kind of light, and then I saw him, I was like, oh shit, again.
And then he went back to work.
Yeah, he went back
And
to
my
work.
lunch break was over.
Yeah, this was a Saturday though, so
Oh,
it was a lot more relaxed.
You gotta love a good Saturday orgy.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Yes, they are.
No one's got any places to be. It's great. I hate when people are in a rush for an orgy.
Yeah.
You don't know where
No one has a
today, you
timer
don't know where
set.
tomorrow. It's
Yeah.
great.
But only when it's not college football season. You know, that's no time. It's like really relaxed. You know,
Totally, everyone follows that.
During college football
nobody's
season,
trying to catch the game. You know.
it's a lot of the orgies happening, but the dude you're fucking is checking the score on his phone.
Yeah. Well, that's the story.
That was great, man.
All right, yeah.
Have either of you ran into one of your teachers at an orgy?